Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on Understanding Sanitary Sewer Modeling with InfoWorks ICM. A couple quick reminders before we start. This webinar will be recorded and emailed out to you within a few days. It will also be available under our events page on the Microdesk website and on our YouTube channels. We will have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. If you have any questions during our presentation, please type them into the questions box located near the bottom of the go-to panel for the end. So a little bit about Microdesk. We are a leading AECO technology and consulting firm and Autodesk Platinum partner in the United States. In 2022, we joined the Sanitary team that allows us to expand our reach globally throughout Europe. We have over 200 dedicated consulting experts that assist with design, construction, and operation firms with the goal of working smarter and more sustainably. To start off, I would like to present our speaker today, Elias Galvin, who will introduce themselves and kick off our agenda.
All right, thank you, Amanda. As she said, as Amanda said, my name is Elias Galvin. I am a solution specialist with Microdesk for infrastructure applications. I have joined Microdesk at about a year and a half ago. I'm based in Miami. I have 6+ years of AECO industry practice in both public and private sectors. I am a EIT in the state of Florida, an Envision sustainability professional, and I'm also Civil 3D for infrastructure design certified professional. I have a master's degree in civil engineering, and I'm currently completing my doctorate also in civil engineering with emphasis in construction and infrastructure. My goal here is to assist customers to work smarter and more sustainably by doing the best use of cutting-edge technology for their engineering-related tasks. So today we're here to talk and learn a little bit more about InfoWorks ICM and how it can help you on your hydrologic and hydraulic modeling tasks. So first, this is the agenda for today. We're going to start talking what is ICM, how it can help you, the different offerings, the standard and versus ultimate, what are the differences. We are going to go over some applications in the industry, why it is important to choose InfoWorks ICM for hydraulic modeling, what are the risks of choosing the wrong tool for hydraulic modeling, and then towards the half portion of this webinar, we're gonna get into a hands-on session where we're gonna learn a little bit about the workspace, the ICM workspace, how to create, import network, how to make edits and infer results. We're going to be running a quick dry and wet water analysis flow, and we're going to be looking into how to read results by developing graphs, session cuts, and videos. So first, what is ICM? InfoWorks ICM, commonly referred here simply as ICM, is one-stop solution for integrated catchment modeling. That's what ICM stands for. So the software helps to plan almost any type of hydraulic projects, delivering easy to interpret visual results, being able to accommodate for any size of applications, from small design applications to large development or even regional projects. So this is a robust tool to make advanced hydraulic and hydrologic H&H analysis for both sanitary sewer, drainage, or combined sewer, but only because it's a robust tool doesn't mean that it needs to be difficult to use, and Microdesk is here to help you in this journey. So who can benefit of InfoWorks ICM? Basically, when we look into this figure in the bottom of the slide, we see what we call the water cycle, right? So any entity that is responsible to manage the effects and the benefits of the water cycle in our environment can benefit of the capabilities of InfoWorks ICM. So in other words, consulting firms in the water industry, utility management companies, municipalities and service districts, federal and state agencies, as well as research agencies. And all these entities have been using this software for a long time, and it has been shown to be a great solution for any hydraulic and hydrologic application. So when we think about InfoWorks ICM, there are two offerings, the standard and the ultimate. The standard version you're going to be using for mostly 1D stormwater and sewer collection systems, also integrated to perform integrated and hydrologic analysis, hydraulic analysis. Also will help you to add real-time control, so you can add your model as it goes. You can run more than one simulation at a time, and all that on top of a very stable and advanced engine that will guarantee quicker results for your analysis. Then we have the ultimate that is built on top of the same engine that the standard version is. It includes all the features the standard version has, and but allows you to work in a multi-user work environment. So if you have teams in the same office or in the same or even online, they can also reach far away remote. They can also reach out to the same work environment and contribute to that hydraulic model development. It is, but perhaps the main capability of the ultimate is the integration of 1D and 2D simulation. So you can start doing overflow analysis, and also you're going to have access to more specific tools such as telemetry and spatial rainfall. So you can make some more advanced analysis considering certain rainfall events. You can include sensors information to your model, and also offers the flood risk analysis. So it helps you out in that aspect if you want to get into more the 2D overflow analysis. So when you think about what are the type of applications InfoWorks can help you out. So as I mentioned, it's one-stop solution for industry-leading capabilities in stormwater and sewer. So in terms of sewer, InfoWorks can help you out with major engineering projects, method planning, peak flow evaluation, facility planning, evaluation of new development, impact of new development, optimization of operations, sizing, lift and pump stations. Also, in terms of stormwater, InfoWorks can help you out with flood event analysis, 2D river flow modeling, surge modeling, flood risk analysis, fully integrated river overflow and groundwater modeling, hydrological and hydraulic assessment, and also provide you the capability of doing live modeling for your operation staff. So department. So when you are thinking about InfoWorks, I like to define the software with 4 keywords, which is collaboration, efficiency, integration, and sustainability. In terms of collaboration, InfoWorks will help you to manage data effectively. It will the software is built on top of a very robust database type that helps you to keep track of versions, resolve conflicts very quickly. It will help you to track and integrated automated corrections, so you can develop scripts to help you on your to automate some of your activities within the model. It will help you to keep history of changes and allow access to any versions, so you can go back in the past if something was changed and you retrieve that information very easily. It will help you present clear and precise results and offers personalized support and extensive documentation. In terms of efficiency, InfoWorks is by far the quickest and most stable engine out there. It will help you to maximize the CPU and the GPU resources that you have on your very expensive machines, and it will work with all sizes of models. So as I mentioned before, from small to large size of models, it will help you out on that aspect. It will help you to perform runs all together, perform live modeling for operational decisions, and streamline workflows with queries and scripting. In terms of integration, you can link live maps to InfoWorks. You can access, for example, Google Street Views directly from your model, from the geoplan. You can integrate with a myriad of other hydraulic models. So you can bring in results. You can bring in networks from other from other models as well. It integrates with GIS tool, including ArcMap, and it helps. And it helps in terms of integration as well. It integrates street, rivers, storm surge, all along with 1D object, and as well groundwater elements. And of course, in terms of sustainability, Science InfoWorks is one-stop solution for hydraulic modeling. It offers a holistic approach to solve those issues. It will help you finding mitigation solutions for the diverse effects of climate changes. It will help you with insights in water quality, help with leak detection. In other words, it will help you to improve the resilience of the communities we live on. And when you think about choosing your tool for this specific end, for hydraulic modeling, we know that nowadays our challenges are more complex than ever. The urbanized environment is getting it is a very complex system. There are a lot of complex systems, and InfoWorks, but it's a one-stop solution to help you modeling all these complex systems. But if you are not if you're not choosing the right tool, you might be underestimating the risk of flood. You might be taking uninformed decisions due to unclear outputs and visualizations. It might be more difficult to implement last-minute changes in your model as well to get the results from those last-minute changes that we know that happens a lot. Also, if your tool doesn't offer support, documentation, technical assistance, you may not be able to solve your questions very quickly. In economical aspects, you might be oversizing or undersizing your systems or pumps and your pipes, and also you might be spending money in unnecessary labor and costs and real work, right? And I'll also need to think about a mistake due to a tool that is not proper in terms of bad press that it can cause to your municipalities, to your company. So also we need to think about environmental aspects, right? InfoWorks will, if your tool is not prepared, it might be missing sewage leakage, negative, you might be creating negative impacts to the ecosystems and the economies, and you might be underestimate, for example, leaf capacities, which is a very important, very risky thing to consider, and also, of course, missing opportunities in more sustainable approach for your environment. And InfoWorks is the solution that it will help you out to stay away from all these issues, right, that come from perhaps not so good hydraulic modeling, right? They're out there. So we need to, when you think about, so like now we learned a little bit about InfoWorks and how it can help you in your hydraulic modeling tasks. Let's get into a quick demo and see how the software works in practice. So before we get into the software, I want to just explore the workspace really quick with this image, with this slide. So InfoWorks, you have on top, you have menu bars. Then you have the toolbars, which will, the menu bars will give you access to tools to save and create databases. So here, and then we have the toolbars, which are also sort of shortcuts that will give access to a specific specific functions with the software. And then we have the windows, where basically the windows are going to be divided in 4 pieces. This is the standard sort of configuration of the software, of the workspace, but also you can move things around as you desire. And in the bottom, you have the status bar that will be informing you if there's anything that you can of what is happening on software, if anything's being processed, and also about the coordinates and so on. So let's get into InfoWorks right now. Okay, so let me minimize this. I will start the software here. I have this is how the software looks like when you first start the page. You can go. You have a very quick overview of the projects you have worked on to this point. But we're going to start a new project. So let's go in File, Open, and create master. Create master database. So here we can choose to pick one master database, and I want to actually create a new one. And I'm going to use this folder, and I will call webinar, and I'll click save. And now we have our master database. So now we have created a database. I go to new and model group, and then here I'm going to create a group that I'll call webinar. And this is where all our database, our model components are going to be living. So we have new, we pick new, and then here are all the options all the model components that we can use with InfoWorks. I will create a InfoWorks network, which is our, let's say, start of any model, right? It's where our pipes, our conduits, our nodes, everything is going to be living. So I'm going to double click, and I will open, and I have here the geoplan, what we call geoplan, basically a model space when if you think about Civil 3D or AutoCAD, right? So here we can zoom in and zoom out. We have a locator that tells you a relative location of your model. You can move this around. And first, before we start bringing in components, I want to show you how to set up user-defined tags. So here I will use my name, so my initials. So every time I import something, or every time I make some changes, it will be the software will be taking notes that was done and performed by me. So once we have that, we see that we have our flags over here set. This is the flag. So everything I do, it will be flagged. And if another person does changes to the same model, it will be flagged with this other person's initials, right? So now let's go in user define default, and I want to define my roughness type. I want to use many, and I want to change my many number to 013. And now I want to set my coordinate system. So this was it was done 227, This was done in British National Grid, and this exercise we're going to be working on. And let's say okay. And now let's get into tools and options. And I'm going to be using matrix system because this was done in metric. But after the fact, when we get into the modeling results, we can move that, we can change that back to imperial system, and then we can, we'll see, and then the software will make the modifications automatically without any further input. So now we have saved. We see this red sign over here is indicating that we have not committed the changes to our database. Let's say okay, and it's gonna be asking me. It's gonna be telling me that this wasn't validated, which means that the software when they validate, it checks to see if, it checks for the data consistent. So let's say no, we don't need to validate because we don't have anything in it yet. And then here we have our setup, let's say model space or geoplay. So let's move now. Let's go to network and pick import open data import Sanitary. And here is where I'm going to be using I'm going to be importing my data sets. So I'm going to first pick my nodes, and I'll say okay. We'll make sure that here import flags from data source. I want to use the flag that I have created. Okay, and then I can use AutoMap. AutoMap will automatically relate my information from the information that I have on that shapefile, the specific shapefile that I picked, to the custom to the custom properties that InfoWorks uses. And I also have the option to create a configuration. So this one, for example, it will automatically combine what is my object fields to my imported fields. So it will relate it automatically. So let's say import, now it's importing. And you see 386 new objects imported. Okay, so let's go close. It closes, and here we have our nodes imported. So if you click, you're clicking one node, for instance, you see that this is marked with my information. This was things that I have created, and this D means system default. So these are all default values that were assumed by the system once they were imported. So I want to. So now I instead of bringing all other components, I want to show you the concept of a transportable database. So here, transportable databases, it will help you to move things around from one system from one place, from one model to another model. And I have created already several components that we're going to be using for this modeling, and they are here. They're this transportable database. So I will select this database, this component. You see that we have model components. This is a model group with several model components that we use for modeling purpose. And then we have our networks. These are the networks. And then here we have even run. So we can even save a run and share it with other models or other people, right? If you're using other models. So I'll say copy, and I will bring it over to I will paste everything inside of my newly created database. And I will pick to copy my ground model. This asks specifically because ground model is one exception that doesn't live in your database because sometimes they can be huge, right? And so they ask if you want to bring the ground model. Sometimes it might be Sometimes you might not need because you have already obtained all the information you needed for your ground model, but that's just optional, and I want to bring it as well, my simulation results. So let's bring everything, and it will very quickly copy over those components. I'm just gonna close because I don't need that anymore. And instead of so now I have already brought my my components, but I actually already have one here, a same network with not only the nodes but also the subcatchment areas and the pipes. So let me just close this. I don't need that anymore. And I want to create a ground model. So for example, so here I will import or create a new ground model. And this is also very easy. Just create a ground model here, and you can pick shape files. You have several different types of files you can use. And I will choose my ground model. And this is my grid code. This is where the Z information is going to come from. And then let's click OK. And we can just drag the model to the system, and then we can visualize that ground model on top of our network. Okay, so now we have. I want to I'm just gonna delete this one. I don't wanna. I don't need that anymore. It was just an example. We can very easily delete the components of our model, but I want to validate this specific model, this specific network. Let's see if we find any issues here. As you can see, basically every single component got highlighted. So that means that our model has a lot of problems, and we need to work on them to have this fixed. So InfoWorks has a lot of tools that will help you to infer data. It will first of all, it will point it out what are the issues of your model. So here you see all these red signs are indicating that the red signs indicate that you need to fix it before you even want to run a simulation. So meaning that if there's any red signs, the simulation will never run. So next we have a yellow sign that will a warning sign. It means that means that the model will run, but the ideal would be to fix and get rid of all these yellow signs. And the blue sign means it's just informational. There's nothing really to be fixed, but here it gives you the message of what might be kind of weird with this node. For instance, here this model and possibly others have tapped area below minimum in simulation parameters. This can be okay, but InfoWorks calls your attention for it if you want to fix it. So let's just start by we see a lot of issues here, but I want to start. I want to start by fixing the ground level. See a lot of nodes here. For instance, if I click on that specific node, this node over here, it will tell me that it's missing this ground level. So I want to infer this by creating a inference, and I already have this inference created here. I will open, and here are several inferences that are already pre-developed for you. And here we have several for nodes and several for conduits. And for nodes, we have this one that has specifies to get ground levels from ground model. And so this is what I want to do. And once I cannot have anything selected. I need to make sure that my selections my selection is clear. So I use this button over here, and I will just drag that inference to my geoplane, and it will infer automatically that it will automate the inference for you. So now you see that the ground level is inferred from the ground information, and you see here how it's now tagged with your name, right? So we can do there's several fixes. Now if we validate, see how many these errors we have here. Now if we validate, all those errors are gone. So we have some other issues to fix here. And another one that I want to show you is how to use the SQL groups to fix your to also help you to automate this let's say fixing of your model. So same way here we have story queries, and I want to actually open, and here you develop your query to check that out. And this one works the same way. This one we're going to be selecting everything that is all the pipes that have the upstream above ground. So those are the ones. And I want to assume, and I want to decrease. Here I have another query that will be applied for this selected pipes. And now those pipes went up, right? So those pipes, the US actually went down, right? So it went 2 feet down. So now it's good. Look at this. When I drag, I don't see any other pipes. And now I want to fix the pipes that have the downstream invert above ground. So we have these 2 pipes. And now I'm going to be assuming 2 feet cover. It will be decreasing 2 feet on the downstream invert. So now this was changed, and so let's see. Let's check to see if this is fixed. And yeah, it's everything. Now it's everything fixed. There's nothing, no pipes, no upstream or downstream inverts above ground in this case. All right, so those are some of the fixes, the quick fix that we can do to automate, let's say, this validation process of our network. And again, we come here, validate, and there's still a few errors that we need to work on, but I will move on to my next network, which is this one that has now everything is fixed. And if I click invalidate, this one I still need to. So now it's asking me to. There's an issue with my pump station that I need to fix. There is no elevation for this element here, and so I want to here I need to select my switch level, which we can select, and the switch off level, and let's say 13, and we can change here the type of pump station we're going to be using, right? And then we can also select the pump station. Here we can create a new head discharge power table, and we just input the values in this table, and we can fix this last issues. So after this is my network after all the queries were fixed. Okay, if I select validate, now oh, that was this one. That is the one that has it's all fixed. So now basically we validated. We still have a few warnings, but those warnings are not so relevant at this point. But we already capable of running the simulations at this point. So now let's go ahead and in runs, I will right click and create a run. And this is going to be, I'm going to call webinar dry weather flow. And here I will be, actually before I need to do this, I need to validate and I need to commit this change. So now I can go I can go ahead and run a dry weather analysis for that specific network. So now I will pick my wastewater profile. That's all I need to run a dry weather flow analysis. I will pick my initial date, which is January 1st, 2015. And here I will pick how many days, 1 day of simulation, and my time step I want 15 seconds. And that's basically it. I'm ready to run my simulation. And here in job control, it will tell you we'll be initializing, and now it's running, and it's already post-processing. So now basically we already have our network, and once you click here, it seems like it's just the same setup of what you had before, right? But the difference is that now, if you're clicking any of these elements, you're gonna have a different sort of properties here, which show actually this shows your results. For example, with max surcharge stage, max depth, max downstream and upstream depth, and so on. So this is already done. This is your results, right, from that specific analysis. So if you want, for example, to use themes to visualize this data, right, you can save your theme that you can create specific appearances for that analysis, and you can just drag here, and it will show you, let's say, different colors for flood depth. So, for example, this one is also very similar, but then now it shows everything that is. It shows a different. It shows also the values for flood depth that you have for each of those nodes. So, for example, if it's negative, it's great, right? It means that there's no surcharge. And for instance, if you want to make sure they have 2 feet clearance, right, at least from your ground, this new theme that I created, have pre-created, it shows you all the points where you do not have at least 2 feet of clearance for each of those manholes. So as you can see here, it's pointing out to you that this can be a problem, right? You only have 0.3 feet from your gravity sewer. It's just it's peak, right? It's only 0.3 feet underneath the ground, which can be a very serious issue. And but the other points are fine. So now you're ready to go and check where are the problems and start fixing the problem, right? So now let's run a weather flow analysis. I'm going to do the same thing. I want to create a new run. And now I'm going to call weather flow analysis, wet to weather flow, call also webinar. Webinar. And now I'm going to drag my wet weather flow network inside of this component, and the same way I will bring the rainfall event. I have a rainfall event, and that it was already pre-developed before, and then finally I have my wastewater event here. So now I have all these three components, and I will select to start time from rainfall event. So whenever rainfall event, the starting time I have here, it will already capture, so I don't need to worry about updating this feature over here. And but my duration, I want 24 hours, and I'll just leave my time step 15 seconds as well, and I'll run my simulation. And now it's going to start creating this simulation. Okay, and it's pretty quick. It's already post-processing, and perfect. We have it. We have our network with the values for our wet weather event. So the same way, if I want to quickly analyze by using my theme information, I have here the points that are a problem, right? So I already know where to start analyzing it. And for example, if I want to analyze a session of this network, I can just use a predefined long session. This is also another component that we can very easily create from our options here, and then I can visualize that as a long session. So here we have a long session, and if I want to see the maxima, so here I have a maxima for those specific values, and I can also, if I want to see over time, I can do in the same way for I can change the time here, the timestamp for our analysis, and you see as time flows, you can also hit play, and then we'll keep on going or moving. Okay, and so you can, but of course, if you want to see the maximum, you can just go ahead and do it. And another last feature is also we can use the grids, not only to see our data for our nodes or links, we can also use the grid to see this grid shortcut up here to see the results for nodes, the results for links, and so catchment as well areas. So this is a very quick overview of what InfoWorks can do for a 1D simulation analysis. So I don't know, Amanda, do we have any questions we can go over? Hi, Amanda?
Yeah, I was on mute and I didn't even
Oh,
realize.
okay.
Yes. So we did have a few questions that came in. The first one, what are the pros and cons of using 2D over 1D modeling?
So the 2D, the 1D modeling will be quicker for you to get to the results. You will be able to. It's a more, let's say, established process. If you're working especially with smaller developments or smaller areas, 1D analysis might be sufficient. And but 2D analysis will give you a better understanding of your system. It will also take in consideration the ground that you are working with. So it will help you to understand if you have an overflow, what's going to happen, where the overflow is going to go, how it's going to impact your neighborhood. But it also, on the other hand, require more computational power from your computer. It gives you a more in-depth analysis, but in another hand, it will require you more computational power and also more time to run the analysis, which in the case of InfoWorks is not too big, but definitely those could be the main difference and applications. And nowadays, if you any more complex project, larger projects will require you to do a 2C analysis.
Great. How can we create different scenarios in InfoWorks?
Okay, so so here, when we have a network, we created a network. We have this icon on the corner that will allow you to create different scenarios. So, for example, you can very easily go and create a new scenario, a new day, new scenario, and you can pick to exist. You can copy and exist. Actually, there's no other scenario. Just copy over automatically, and you can go from one scenario to another. And then, for instance, if you would like to delete some components of your scenario, you see that this whatever you have difference comparing to your previous scenarios, it will be showing as like this gray out sort of pipe. But yeah, so that indicates that you have had in your previous scenarios, in your base scenario, you have a pipe here. For example, if you go back to your previous scenario, you have your base scenario, but this new scenario, for instance, is like if there was no more connection between these two neighborhoods, right? So this is how you can use scenarios, and if you click here, and you can manage scenarios. So here you see everything that if you have your base scenario with 1,030 objects, and then here your new scenario, you have basically you already assume ICM already assumes that you have your object, but you excluded 3 objects from that. So and also gives you the information who had done, when it was done, and you can also reintegrate, you can duplicate, you can create a report with the differences from one scenario to another. So it gives you a lot of power in terms of how you're going to manage your scenarios as your model evolves.
Great. We did have a question come in. It says, I saw there was an optimization of operations for sanitary sewer runs. Can you discuss that in a little more depth?
Yes. So InfoWorks will allow you to connect your if you have the ultimate version, it will allow you to connect to your sensors in the field, and you can connect the information. And for instance, if you have you can connect the information live with InfoWorks, create through like a API, and you can bring that information to your model, and you can run as, for instance, as you have new values coming in. So basically, it will also help you to calibrate your model according to what you are experiencing in the field. So it gives you this tool, and since InfoWorks is it's very quick on giving you results, it will very quickly consider this information from the field into your modeling, into your new modeling. So yes, it's definitely can help the operational aspect by using this let's say site. You can also, for instance, you can if you have not necessarily only sensors, but you can input your information, any water level, or for example, if a valve or a pump station stopped working, what's going to happen, right? So you can create queries and scripts to automate those analyses as well. You can create different scenarios, right, for those specific analysis. So definitely, those are a few ways that InfoWorks can help you with your operation analysis.
Nice. So another question, where can I find tutorials to help me learn the tool?
Yes, so if you go here in help, you can, you have help topics, and here you have a basic tutorial that will basically teach you all the mostly 1D like we saw today in this webinar, and then here you have a little bit more advanced 2D and tutorial analysis. We also Innovyze has a very good web channel on YouTube. You can learn more about it, and so yeah, and also and then of course you can always reach out to Microdesk for trainings and tailor trainings in InfoWorks ICM.
Very good. I believe that is all the questions I see so far. I am going to launch a quick poll. If you would like a Microdesk team member to contact you, if you have any more questions, or we could do a one-on-one demo about this product, please select yes, and we'll reach out to you shortly. So I'll just leave this up for a minute. Alrighty, thank you everybody for your responses.
Thank you.
So you can also visit our website at microdesk.com to learn more about the products and services we offer. That will wrap up our webinar today. Big thank you to Elias, and thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us.
Thank you everyone.